talking about some macroeconomic trends that are going on. I do follow you on Twitter, so I've seen some posts of yours as well on macroeconomic trends in the US right now. I think they're probably cooling off the increasing of US bond yields currently. So, do these events kind of impact your momentum model? Do you factor in these trends as well?
No, so we don't factor in into our models directly because as our basic principle, the BBC principle, Bhav Bhagwan Che, is that the price is already discounting everything that is out there. The price will discount it if markets are going up because of yields are coming down. The price is already telling us or discounting it there. Yes, for general interest, for knowledge sake, I do write a lot about macro things in the US, and I am also learning on a daily basis. I don't claim to be any economist or anything like that,
Right.
but I think it's very interesting that the US and the rest of the world is living on borrowed money from your generation.
Yeah.
So I believe your generation and the one that is coming after you is going to have a very tough time. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say that, but because we are borrowing from the future, we are saying that we are living in a la land where we can borrow or raise debt as much as we like, but we don't want to pay it back.
Exactly.
So there are countries which are now at 200% debt to GDP, 300% debt to GDP. I mean, money is not free. There's no free lunch in this world. Let's get this very, very clear. There is no free lunch in this world. If you are distributing money, it has to be earned from somewhere. The productivity has to go up, the growth has to go up to raise resources. You can't just print currency and hope that everything will go right. So there is going to be a lot of trouble in the coming decades on this front. It may not hamper my lifetime in the next few decades, but definitely in the times to come, this free lunch thesis will have to correct.
इंडिया में बहुत सारे लोगों को इन्वेस्ट और ट्रेड करके पैसा तो बनाना है, बट अ लॉट ऑफ देम डोंट नो द राइट वे. इसी वजह से दे रिलाई ऑन टिप्स एंड एडवाइसेस फ्रॉम द रॉन्ग पीपल. और इसी सिचुएशन को इम्प्रूव करने के लिए हमने upsurge.club एज अ प्लेटफॉर्म बनाया है, जहाँ पे हमारे पास 50 से भी ज़्यादा कोर्सेज है फ्रॉम इंडस्ट्री एक्सपर्ट्स जिनके पास सालों का एक्सपीरियंस है. एज यू कैन सी, हमारे सारे कोर्सेज काफ़ी अफोर्डेबल रेंजेस में हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, ज्योति बुद्धिया का ऑप्शन ट्रेडिंग कोर्स हमारे पास सिर्फ ₹399 में अवेलेबल है. इसमें हमारे पास 6 घंटे का कंटेंट है और मैम ने वो सारी चीजें कवर की है विच आर नेसेसरी फॉर यू टू बिकम एन ऑप्शन ट्रेडर. अगर आप देखोगे तो फ्रॉम अ बिगनर लेवल टू एन एडवांस लेवल, ट्रेडिंग और इन्वेस्टिंग के रिलेटेड हमारे पास बहुत सारे कोर्सेज अवेलेबल हैं. इसी को और अफोर्डेबल बनाने के लिए हमने इन सभी कोर्सेज को हमारे सब्सक्रिप्शन मॉडल में भी इंक्लूड किया है. आप ये सभी कोर्सेज को सिर्फ 2,999 रुपीज में एक्सेस कर सकते हो. तो आज ही आप हमारी वेबसाइट चेकआउट कीजिए और अपनी ट्रेडिंग और इन्वेस्टिंग जर्नी को सही तरीके से शुरू कीजिए.
So this entire monetary system that we have, and I'm going into little of macro here, of a government borrowing and spending much more than what they're earning. So it is essentially what you and me also do. Do we spend much more than what we earn? Right. So what is the financial advice that we give to youngsters? That whatever you earn, you spend out of it and save something out of it. Why is that not applicable to governments and central banks?
Yeah.
How can they keep borrowing much above what they're earning out of taxation and keep spending on welfare, because the government wants votes, so they will keep spending on welfare. And so it is a zero-sum game at the end of it. I mean, you need to earn to spend that money. You cannot keep splurging money on whatever you like and not have the earning for it. Somebody has to pay for it, if not now, later. And that somebody paying for it will have to come through inflation. Inflation is that secret tax that happens. I mean, we never see it like that, but every year, if there is, let's say, 10% inflation, you are losing 10% of your wealth. You are losing 10% of your money in your bank without realizing it. You may crib about the tax that you have to pay, but you never crib about this inflation because this is a secret tax.
Yeah.
And as that inflation will keep going up, because the more money you print, the more inflation it will happen. there will come a time where, there all the central banks, all the governments will have to come together and say that this system is not working anymore. We have to do another, like 1944, they did a Bretton Woods agreement where they all sat down and said, okay, no more gold standard. We are coming and we are going to print money as we like.
Yeah.
So something of that large nature will happen, maybe due to a world war of some kind or something like that. So there will be some disruptive event at some point of time. But yeah, I mean, it is going to be tough for newer generation. As you can see today, 20 years back, it was not as tough to buy a house for yourself, for instance. But for this generation to buy a house is getting even tougher, and it is going to get increasingly difficult as you go along, because wages are not increasing at the same pace at which the asset prices are increasing. So if somebody was earning 100 rupees and buying a house with the EMI of 10 rupees or 50 rupees, 20 years later, he may still be earning 200 rupees, but having to buy a house at 150 rupees of EMI. I have a very not so positive view about how things will happen for the next few generations. But right now, I mean, things are looking good.